Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to the chosen and the elect. All right. I'm Ariel Zabak out of the GMS Dallas camp, and I'm going to entitle this lesson here, Hold On to Sound Doctrine. All right. As the men of the Lord, okay, go out on the streets, prophesy, preach and teach, okay, throughout the four corners of the earth. We never know who's watching us, okay? You have Israelites that heard the truth, waking up to the truth, and they trying to find out what is the truth, okay? And you have the elect, okay? And the elect are the ones that are sincere. And then you also have people, who's learning, okay? You also have people who's scoffing, okay, want to come against the truth, the prophets. And then you also have, false prophets and false teachers, okay? So holding on to sound doctrine is very important. And, let me use myself for an example because, when I first came into this truth, all right, I ended up in GMS, but, again, you have to be sincere about this thing, okay, because I started out in GOCC, okay, and one thing that I quickly understood once I, saw that it was different camps, meaning that there was other teachings dealing with this truth, I immediately, prayed to the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. At the time, I was like, the Most High, I pray and ask, you to lead me to the right camp. I don't want to be camp hopping, okay? Just, all over the place, all right? So, long story short, I knew something was wrong through the spirit at GOCC, precepts, scriptures, everything was being twisted. Scratch that off, okay? Then I saw Sakari, Wi-Fi. I saw who was that? Oh, One Body and Yahweh Shai at the time. That's before they dropped their name, and it was GMS. Well, GMS came. It came just a little bit later. So the Sakari thing had taken place with that camp when they had the Passover and they had the strippers at the Passover. I was like, nope, cross them out. IUIC never had to worry about that. They wasn't even calling on the right names. Okay, everybody else calling on. Some camps were saying Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. I was hearing that a little bit with Sakari. Then when I ran into GMS, my elder at GMS South Carolina 08, go subscribe and be edified. Elder Manatazak Ba, okay. I was listening to him one day, and he was out there preaching by himself, on the corner, just bringing the word out. No gimmicks, no debates, no rap battles, no fitted hats, none of that. It was just a word, okay. So I was just sitting there listening to the brother, okay, and he was just preaching the word, man, and that I was drawn to sound doctrine, okay, and I was picking it up easily, okay, through the spirit. I was like, man, I'm learning this. So the One Body in Yahweh Shai, they sold out, and now they just One Body in Dallas, okay. So when I found out it was a GMS here in Dallas, okay, I heard Elder Manatazak Ba was saying we got GMS everywhere. We got one of the immediately, I start, seeking, trying to figure out where these brothers are. All right. And, Lord willing, Kahala Yahaba Shem Yahushua, I found the brothers teaching, man. Okay? So I've been out listening to those brothers until I crossed over, man. Okay? So sound doctrine is a powerful thing, man. All you need is the truth. You see? And there are other, brothers that with testimonies and how they got it, came into GMS, man. But here at GMS, man, we have great leadership here, starting with our apostles, bishops, and elders on down that Yahweh Shah set up. All right. So we're very careful and of what we teach, man. Okay, because you never know who's listening. So let's get Titus. All right. Let's get Titus chapter 1, all right, in verse 9, and it reads, holding fast the faithful word as he had been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers, all right? And let's get it in the NLT. And it reads, verse 9, he must have a strong belief in the trustworthy message he was taught, okay? So again, we got to hold on to this truth, this 100% truth. If you don't got 100% truth and you believe, contrary to the scriptures, then you don't got it, man. Okay. So starting from the top again in the NLT on verse 9, and it reads, he must have a strong belief in the trustworthy message he was taught. Then he will be able to encourage others with wholesome teaching, and show those who oppose it where they are wrong. Meaning that, you'll be able to rebuke in love, okay? And when you rebuking in love, man, love ain't nothing but bringing reproof, man, and correction, okay? If you doing something, if you're going off, okay, there's nothing wrong with that, all right? And the elect, they're going to understand it, okay? Because we got sheep out of here, watching all the camps, man. Okay. You got a lot of camps now, they coming together, giving shout out to other camps who's turned their back and preaching that, who used to preach the scriptures correctly, all right, about Israel being saved from our enemies, okay, out of these other nations. Now they teaching that all nations can be saved. Okay, all of these things, that's because they didn't hold fast of sound doctrine. All right. You see? Now let's get Colossians. All right. Let's get Colossians real quick. All right, this is Colossians chapter 1. And we're going to start from verse 21. And it reads, and you that were sometimes alienated and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now had he reconciled. Okay, so there were times where we were enemy, when it comes to this truth, man, before the Lord, man. We were enemies, okay? And Kal Halal Yahba Shem Yahweh Shai, that he quickened our spirit, man. All right, because we can still be out there like a lot of these wicked 2/3 that's gonna get destroyed, man. That's not gonna repent and be ye converted. You see? All right. So let's grab Isaiah 53rd chapter. Okay. Isaiah 53:1. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 1. And it reads, who had believed our report? And to whom is the arm of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh thy power revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, okay, and as a root out of the dry ground. He had no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. And that's going into Yahweh Shah, this message, man. Okay. This message, this 100% truth is not going to be a likable message by everybody. Only the elect is going to get it. You see? It was never meant for everybody. All right. Let's get James, okay, chapter 4 and verse 4. And it reads, Okay? You adulterers and adulteress. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with thy power? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of thy power. Okay? So this is why people have a problem with GMS, man. Because we got the 100% truth, man. We're not going to be friends with everybody. We're not going to get along to go along. Okay? If you're going off, here at GMS, man, you're going to get rebuked. You're going to get reproof. Okay? And it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with being rebuked, man. Being corrected. All right? These are the things that Israelites, that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have a problem with, man. All right? Your life. Okay? This is our life that we're talking about, man. Okay? You see? You want to get delivered, man, from this place, man. Because there's destruction that's coming. You see? And our people, they're like sheep led to the slaughter, man. They don't know. Okay? They thinking that, hey, the world is this world is their place of rest. When it's not, man. It's going to get destroyed, especially here in Babylon the Great. Okay? That's mass judgment that's going to be going out throughout the earth, man. No matter where you live. You see? All right? So let's go back to Colossians. All right? This is Colossians chapter 1. All right? Verse 22. Okay? This is Colossians 1 and 22, and it reads, in the body of his flesh, through death, to present you. Matter of fact, let's read Colossians 1 and 21 again. Then we'll continue on in verse 22. And it reads in 21, and you that were sometimes alienated and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now had he reconciled. Okay? So we've been quickened, man, through the Spirit. All right? We used to be enemies toward the Most High. Okay? Verse 22, in the body of his flesh through death, to present you holy and unblameable and unreprovable in his sight. Okay? And let's get that in the NLT on verse 22. And it reads, yet now he has reconciled you through himself. Verse 22 again, yet now he has reconciled you to himself through the death of Hamashiach in his physical body. As a result, he has brought you into his own presence. And that's through his death, burial, and resurrection, man. That's why him dying on the cross was so important, okay? And you are holy and blameless as you stand before him without a single fault. You see? And now that you've been converted, man, all right? You see, through his death, burial, and resurrection, being quickened. Now, we've been reconciled, and we're able to be present with him, man. Okay? You see? Let's get 1 Corinthians. Okay? The 2nd chapter, and verse 2. And it reads, for I determined not to know anything among you save Yahushua HaMashiach and him crucified. Right. Okay? Because through his death, burial, and resurrection, again, we wouldn't be here. All right? That's the whole purpose of Yahushua delivering us, man. Able to have all authority and power, man, given unto him. Okay? Through what he did, man. For his people. Okay? Let's get Hebrews. Let's get Hebrews 6 and 9. And it reads, this is Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 9, and it reads, but beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak. Okay? And let's get that in the NLT, and it reads, dear friends, even though we are talking this way, we really don't believe it applies to you. We are confident that you are meant for better things to come with salvation. Okay? So this is the type of thing, persuasion and the sound doctrine of the leadership that you have, that's around, the brotherhood, man. Okay. And why it's so important, how we carry ourselves too, when it come to this ministry, man, because we don't want this ministry to be blamed. You see, again, the watchmen out there, watching over the sheep and feeding the sheep. And we have to feed the sheep sound doctrine, man. They have to know what's going on, in the earth. And we have to take care of the sheep to make sure that they receiving, and eating the correct, eating the scriptures, so to speak, through, as an analogy, say, okay. So it's very important that that we speak the 100% truth. All right. And also let's get that in Matthew, the 10th chapter. Okay. This is Matthew 10 and verse 16, because we got to watch how we move. All right. And a lot of these camps, they not moving correctly, man. All right. They doing all of the things of the world and drawing attention, and you can get the ministry blamed for that. All right. And this is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. And it reads, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Okay. So we have to be careful on what we say, how we speak. Okay. You can't be having unity camps with people with different doctrines. All right. It don't even look right. Somebody come and ask us, hey, what y'all teach? And everybody got something different to say. They want to break down the mark of the beast, and then you got 3 different breakdowns. Okay? So we got to speak the sound doctrine. There's only one truth. All right? You see? Let's get 2 Timothy. All right? Chapter 4 and verse 3. And it reads, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap them to themselves teachers having itchy ears. All right. So people, they want to hear, especially when it comes to Jake, man. Jake want to be entertained. Jake want to see you matching. Jake want to know how you can get the bag, how to be an Israelite and kick it. Okay. And not understanding that, you want salvation, man. All right. There's destruction that's coming towards Babylon the Great. And World War III is going to break out. Okay. You got the MOTB, the micro C hip that's going to take place. These prophecies. All right. That's going to get our people caught up, and our people need to be warned. All right. Our people need to repent. Okay. And be ye converted so you won't partake of these plagues that's going to hit this place. You see? But, just like these other camps where you have this one group where they was teaching the truth, and then, now they're teaching otherwise, man. Okay? They're false prophets, false teachers. All right? And they're going to get a lot of people, caught up and destroyed, man. You see? The blind leading the blind. All right, they left to a reprobate mind. All right, and let's end it off on Hebrews 12 and 1. Let's get that. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1, and it reads, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. And this is, us examining ourselves, man. Okay? We got to make sure that, we have sound doctrine, understand this long suffering, the things that, these men, okay, the elect has given up to do the will of the Lord. Okay. A lot of brothers, have testimonies. Some brothers could have went to the NBA, Some brothers are musicians, okay? Probably could have been in Wall Street or doing whatever, all right? According to this world, you know, to make a name of yourself and other things, man, okay? That could have your way or, you know, design, you know, American dream, okay? With a dime piece, all right? Children, family, all of these things. You got the men of the Lord has given up to come do the work to make sure that this sound doctrine is moving throughout the four corners of the earth, man. So we got to examine ourselves on the daily to make sure that we have sound doctrine. Rebuke is going to be a part of your life. Long suffering, patience, okay, and being brotherly, okay. So again, this lesson here, the title of it is "Hold On to Sound Doctrine." There's only one truth. Here at GMS, we have 100% truth, okay. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to the chosen and the elect. Shalom.